Coming up, I'm going to be talking about the success of the Acolyte on Disney Plus, an update on the Tiana series, plus also House Frozen Over, and we got a DC series coming soon to Hulu and Disney Plus. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at disneyplus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking about the Acolyte. So last week we saw the first 2 episodes released on Disney Plus around the world. And Disney revealed that in the first 24 hours, the first episode was watched 4.8 million times, which was a record breaker for Disney Plus this year, the most watched thing we've seen so far. Disney has now clarified and put out a little bit more information, confirming that over the first 5 days, the series was watched 11 million times. And it is still the most watched show on Disney Plus this year, though let's be honest, other than Echo, there's not been a huge amount. We've seen some shows get pretty close to that. Shogun hit 9 million across Hulu and Disney Plus around the world, while the Kardashians was just under 4 million. So obviously the Acolyte is definitely much ahead. But when you compare it to last year's Ahsoka, which pulled in 14 million, though there could be a counter argument to that. Ahsoka was a much more well-known character, had been introduced in The Mandalorian. People were more ready for that. But there is no doubt about it. The Acolyte is like Marmite. You've got people that love it and you've got people that hate it. And yeah, there's been a big sort of push online with the fact that this series isn't very good, or that people aren't watching it because they consider it woke, and just in general there's just a massive great big amount of negativity around this show, and that obviously has impacted on viewership. There's no point of denying it. You've also got lots of other people that that have just got fed up with Star Wars. The quality has been reducing each time, and so therefore the show viewership is considered to be not as good as it probably should have been maybe a few years ago. Now, the counter argument to that obviously is this is still the most watched show on Disney Plus this year. It is still pulling in big numbers, and it's going to be interesting to see how this compares when it goes up on the Nielsen charts. I think obviously compared to anything on Netflix, it ain't going to touch most of those shows, but probably with other streaming services, it will beat most of them. Again, Netflix just tends to do these things much higher because more people have got Netflix and just more people watch it. And yeah, there is no doubt about it that Star Wars is a bit of a tarnished brand right now, and there's some people that aren't happy to be watching it and just don't want to watch it, and therefore that has contributed to it. It's kind of a weird one. In some ways, like Disney put out this big press release kind of hyping up how good it's done, but the simple truth is that when you look at the numbers, it's a bit hit and miss. But let me know, what do you think of all of this? Love to hear your thoughts on all that in the comments below. Now let's talk now about Tiana. This was a brand new series that was announced back at the Investors Day in 2020. It's a continuation of The Princess and the Frog. And since then, we've hardly heard anything about it. We had a little bit at the Annecy Film Festival a couple of years ago, but generally, nearly 4 years on, not a lot. However, yesterday at Walt Disney World in Florida, they had a special event for press, which was all about kind of showcasing some of the big stuff that's happening at Walt Disney World over the next few months, including the reopening of Splash Mountain, which is now called Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So this one here is they rethemed Splash Mountain. So you're going on an adventure where she's trying to find some missing ingredients for a big party. And it was also confirmed that during the event that the Tiana series will be coming to Disney Plus soon. They showed up the logo and said it will set after the events of the ride. Then let's be honest, the ride isn't going to have a huge impact on the story because generally these kind of things don't. But nice to see some confirmation of the show that it is still existing, it's still happening. And yeah, it's like I said, it's going to take place after the events of the movie when she's got a restaurant and she's going to be going off on adventures and stuff. So nice to see this one confirmed, but it also highlights again that big problem of that Investors Day, where during the pandemic, Disney was in a real tight situation. They had to keep investors happy. They did like a 4-hour presentation announcing everything under the sun that was coming. The simple truth is a lot of this stuff probably should not have been announced. It was too early, years away, and here we are, halfway through 2024, and we still haven't even seen anything more than one image and a logo for this show. It's just, I think, in all honesty, they just announced way too much, and then that's impacted then on other stuff, and I think it's going to impact on like D23 this year, because again, a lot of the stuff that they've already announced at previous events years and years ago still haven't arrived, and they still need to talk about it. So we are seeing less and less announcements. Obviously they are making less stuff, but definitely something to be wary of. Let's shift gears now and talk about an email that I was not expecting, with a press release about a brand new anime series from Japan, from Warner Brothers. A brand new animated series called Suicide ISEKAI. Now this series looks pretty crazy in terms of they all get sent off to some magical world where they're fighting other demons and stuff. You've got Peacekeeper in here. You've also got in there Harley Quinn, and there's sort of elements with the Joker and stuff as well. Yeah, it is definitely interesting to see this. It's going to be coming to Max and also on Hulu, so I suspect as well Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States over the summer. There will be new episodes dropping each and every week, so it'll be debuting with 3 episodes first off on June the 27th, and again with a new episode every week until August the 15th. So I don't think it's going to be happening internationally because they've lined up lots of different streaming services and platforms all over the place, so I wouldn't expect it. But this just is a bit crazy, just seeing DC kind of putting out a show on Hulu and Max. Now, whether or not they're just trying to share it out there, trying to get it out to more people, because they know there's a lot of people watching anime on Hulu. It is a massive thing. But yeah, I can't help but just feel like this just feels very, very, very weird to be talking about a DC series. It looks good. I'm going to be honest, the trailer was all subtitled, and I genuinely struggle watching these kind of things with subtitles. It's a kind of a show that if it was dubbed, I would watch it straight away, and I feel like with animation it's one of the easier things to do the dubbing for, so you wouldn't really necessarily know it, because the mouths don't always match up. But yeah, it's interesting, different. But let me know, are you going to be checking out this new Suicide Squad series? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. So we got a new episode of the FX series Clipped. So this one's on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States. Disney Plus everywhere else. So saw the first 2 episodes released last week, new episode every week. And it's a very interesting series. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm going to be watching this one later tonight. Because me and my wife watch this one. I've been enjoying it. It's very different. It's kind of all about the owner who basically, as he's having an affair with this woman, and she's taping everything that she's got, and then he basically says he doesn't want her to bring any black friends to the court, and that then blows up on TMZ and goes up around the world and just kind of deals with racism. It's a really, really good drama series. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes and stuff. But yeah, that's the main new release for today. Let me know if you're watching Clipped. Let me know in the comments below. And our question of the day, which comes from Drew, who says, "Bro, what's up with the Darkwing Duck reboot?" So at the minute, not a lot. We've not really heard anything about the Darkwing Duck reboot for a long time. Whether or not this thing is still happening, we don't really know. There's a lot of stuff that got kind of thrown around, especially like during the pandemic and stuff. And also as well, like in terms of like online, you get a lot of creators and people that will come out there and kind of say stuff that they're working on things almost as a try to leverage Disney and other things into making it happen, see if there's enough excitement around it. Kind of, you know, you put that thing, oh, I'm working on this project, just to see then if there's interest, see if fans get excited, see if it gets picked up, and then kind of to help with the negotiations to get it happening. I'm just not sure if Darkwing Duck is the right thing right now. While that was one of the shows I loved when I was a kid, I just feel like with superheroes and stuff there, is Darkwing Duck really going to connect with new audiences? We don't tend to see Disney doing a huge amount with these characters at the minute. I think it would be a nice extension of what they did with DuckTales, but again, it's been years since that's come out. I don't know, I'd like to see it, but let me know. Would you like to see a Darkwing Duck reboot? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. If you've got a question for tomorrow, drop it in here. I'll answer that one there as well. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.